The delay, man, I'm excited about what's about our guest speaker today. Our guest speaker, you all, is from the big state of California. His son was one of those elite juniors coming up in the junior rankings. And his son right now, you all, make sure y'all look out for his son. He's playing at San Jose State University. And this gentleman, you all, has been mentoring me for the last couple of months and just tightening up my thinking and just kind of getting me in a space where, we need to get John to the next level. So without any further delay, I want to bring to you all none other than Mr. Ken Stiles. What's up, Ken? I think you're on mute right now, Ken. Press unmute.
I got it.
Okay. How you doing? How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm hanging in there.
Well, good, man. Good to have you on, man. I'm so appreciative that you agreed to do this podcast. Man, we got some junior parents that need to hear the real of the real. You know, when I talk to you, I gotta get myself get my head right and just know that the heat is getting ready to come.
Man, my bad.
No. Listen, I know it's gonna be all for the good, though. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, Ken, is I want to ask you, man, give me your background, give me your story before we get into junior golf and get into all of that. Just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I grew up in LA, loving football and basketball. Lakers, Niners, Dodgers, all that good stuff. So I've been a sports fanatic since birth. And I had my first kid, my son, Kris.
Right.
I wanted him to go in those directions. Football mainly was the sport we were going to choose. And then I didn't know too much about golf, man. I still probably don't know too much about it, but he got into golf, man, video games and stuff. And the rest is history, man. And just started putting it down.
So Kris, what made you, Ken, what made you want to pursue golf for Kris? Because you, as you said, you wasn't a golfer. But what made you want to get your son into golf?
His first swing. I was sold. We often talk about when was your best swing or what was your best this, best that, and he would name some type of shot. I hit a 5-iron out the bunker over the water. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I said, man, your best swing was your first swing because I was all in.
Right.
If you had dribbled that ball or shanked it, I would have told you to sit down and go get me a beer or something. Like this. Right. This ain't it. Golf too hard.
Right. So give us the backstory on how you really got him going, Kris, in the game of golf.
So after that first swing, man, the next day I bought him a set and we went to practice every day.
Wow.
And he was 5 years old. And I just had my daughter. She was 1 year old. I get off work and we go to work every day, 3-4 hours a day. To the point where I came home one day, my wife was upset. Kris come home crying as he often did.
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, I need to stop this golf stuff." But I was already invested, man. I had dreams of the next Tiger Woods in my head at that point. Every time you go to the course, oh, you're going to be the next Tiger Woods. Right. You're going to be the next time. I'm sure y'all get that, man. That
man.
Drive me crazy.
Yeah.
It drive me crazy. But in the beginning, all I saw was dollar signs.
Right.
Hey, we going to be rich.
Exactly.
But as I learned the hard way, man, golf is hard.
Hey, I got this saying, Ken, that golf don't care who you are.
Nope.
They don't.
Golf don't care who you are, what you did yesterday, or what you did in the practice round, or what you could have. I would have shot if you didn't 4-putt 4 times, you would have been. No, see, but you did 4-putt 4 times, so you can't.
Right.
And it tell you quickly who you are, and a lot of people have a hard time accepting who they really are.
That's true. So, man, what was your experience like as a parent? And we'll get into the top level golf that Kris actually played, but talk to us about your experience as a parent.
Being Black in this game, man, you experience golf a lot differently than a lot of your competition does. And as a parent, you gotta recognize that and cater to that in some sense. You know, we were at a tournament once, and Kris had played well, and dude from Colombia comes in. We're eating in the snack bar, and he comes in. He goes, "Man, you're a good player. You're a really good player." And Kris was like, "All right, thank you." Dude walked away, and Kris was like, "I ain't like that, Dad." I'm like, "What you talking about?" He complimented you. Nah, it's the way he said it. I said, "Son, what you heard was you're a really good player for a black kid."
Right.
I didn't really expect that out of a black kid.
Right.
And so I had to explain to him, you know, this dude was straight from Colombia. I don't know how Americanized he was, but
Right.
I'm like, man, probably only black CC is on Jerry Springer.
That's
so
it.
you gotta give that dude a pass. You gotta understand where they coming from and just be prepared mentally for that. Because we face numerous racism incidents on the golf course.
That's true. That's true. And I know we could spend a gazillion hours on that, but talk to us a little bit about Ken, and you know, from a parent's perspective, what do you feel that you did as a parent? Because we got a lot of junior parents on, and we've got a lot of junior
what I feel I did, or what a lot of junior golf parents, especially African Americans, don't do is go hard.
Gotcha.
When I mean go hard, if you got to go 4 or 5 hours a day, every day, and you got to go to different golf courses, you got to go be seen in order to raise money to help you fund this golf journey.
Wow.
A lot of us, especially myself, you know, I was lower class when I quit my job so that I could pursue this golf thing. So we living off one income, man. It was a struggle. And I told my wife, you shouldn't have to pay for anything golf related. I got that. And at the time I did not have that. So I had belief in me that I could raise the money.
Right.
And that's what I did, man. But the main thing is the golf has got to be right. Before you go out asking people for money,
right,
the golf game has got to be right. And you got to put in major hours, man. And, you know, it's literally blood, sweat, and tears, man. I can't tell you how many times, you know, Kris came home with a tear in his eye, or I came home upset and, you know, blood pressure up high. And I'm just,
right.
I'm mad at the world because my son missed the green with a wedge in his hand. Like, I'm upset.
Right.
Hey,
right.
So if you don't have that type of passion for this game,
might be
you know,
wrong.
Man, we on the range one day, and this kid comes up to me with his dad, and I watched them hit balls, and Kris was probably 11 years old, and this kid was probably like 7, 8 years old, and his dad come up to me, and he's like, "Man, how you do it, man? This." I said, "Man, go play soccer."
Wow.
He's like, right. Kris looked at me like, "Dad, you so mean." I'm like, "Man, I just saved that dude a whole bunch of money, heartache, and time."
Yes.
Go play soccer. You are not built for this golf game.
Right. Right.
So if you ain't willing to get in there and get your hands dirty with your kid and grind and do everything you need to do, man, my advice tonight is go play soccer.
Play soccer. Right.
Save yourself some time, money, headache, high blood pressure, all that.
You know, tears and arguments and everything, right?
Yes, it all comes along with it. But my son drove back to college today, and I had to work. So I met him halfway. Well, not halfway. I met him when he started his journey. He said, "I'm gonna stop at the gas station."
Right.
So I roll up to the gas station. I meet him, and he gave me a big hug, man. And he was like, "Dad, I love you, and thank you for everything you did."
Wow.
So the journey is worth it, man. When you get to the end and your goals have been reached, as a parent, as a dad, man, there's no better satisfaction than your kid is like appreciative of the journey that you guys went on together.
Yeah. Man, I tell you, that was real right there.
Yeah.
That was real.
Yeah. So I get those texts periodically, but at the same time, you know,
yeah,
I still got to smash on him. You know?
Right. you still got to crush him.
yeah. But it's, you know, it's a fine line, especially after they get to like 14, 15 years old, man. It's a fine line between crushing their spirit, because you also want them to be a man. Right. If you got boys out there. You want them to be a man, but at the same time, you know, they ain't ready for a lot of decisions that they need to make, but you got to prepare them to start making those decisions on their own.
Right.
And that may even come down to when and where we golf at, where we practice at, because if your kid don't want it as much as you may want it for them, when they get by themselves in college or the next level, if they don't have that work ethic or that love for this game, naturally it's gone.
It's gone.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Gotcha. All right. So let me ask you this, Ken, as far as the mental part of the game, how do you feel you help Kris with the mental part of the game? You know, because, you know, from what we hear, you know, you got the passion, you got the toughness. What did you do?
Sometimes that mental part, that toughness is a hindrance in golf.
Gotcha.
It's especially when I first started, man. Like I said, I come from football, basketball background, and you make a mistake or you do something, you want to get, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Get in their face.
And
right.
That's the exact opposite.
Right.
You want to have your kid on the tee box thinking, let's go. I'm about to kill this drive.
Right. Right.
Bogey, first hole. So I had to learn the hard way, man. I read some books and things like that, man. You gotta watch what you say to your kid, because golf is so mental. And if you send them out there in the wrong mindset, man, they doomed from the start. It would be tournament times where Kris used to tell me I was thinking about the yelling I was gonna get on the fourth hole.
Wow.
I was thinking, wow, how you gonna yell at me in the car the fourth hole? And I'm like, you thinking about that on the fourth hole? That's why you did. See, you can't. Yeah. But it's hard to do when you, like I say, when you go hard, there's consequences to it. But at the same time, you don't reach those levels without that passion.
That's right. Now, Ken, you just mentioned a couple of books. You have a couple of books you recommend that our junior parents read up on?
I'm not a real book guy, man. The one that I read was Bob Rotel, Mental Guide, something like that.
Okay.
And then you know, my personal experience, I don't, you know, everybody's situation is different. You can ask 100 people, 50 people gonna love it, 50 people not. So like if you ask them, hey man, you think I should go to this school? Well, my friend said they didn't like this because you like, but you hear somebody else that say they love this school and for whatever reason, this book, this, that. So man, I tried to base my journey off my own experiences. Gotcha. And whatever came of it. At the end of the day, we raising our kids, especially our African American young men, in the game of golf, and watch how outstanding young men they become because of the game of golf. It teaches you so many life lessons. So, regardless of what he shot or what he accomplished, man, it's for me at this stage. It was about the journey. I miss it.
Right. So take us back, Ken, to Kris junior career. What would you say is probably your fondest moment or two? You know, like what were you like really proud of?
Fun, man. U.S. Kids Worlds.
Gotcha.
If I don't care if you got to break the bank, if you calling yourself serious about this game of golf, you have to go to U.S. Kids Worlds. There's nothing like it. That was fun. I look back on those days and, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, but at the same time, it was fun, man. I got plaques on my wall when they give you that certificate of achievement that you made it to the tournament, man. They hanging up on my wall right now.
Nice. Nice.
Biggest accomplishment, man. When he won U.S. Kids State at 8 years old, man, I cried like a baby. And because we have been trying so hard to win something.
Yeah.
Just want to win something.
Yeah.
So he won the state, man. And I knew the publicity that I could get from that.
Right.
From winning the U.S. Kids State. I'm giving you guys a game right now. Y'all might want to take some notes on this one.
Okay.
My whole thing to raise money, this is the parent side, not the golf side. This is the parent side.
Gotcha.
I should tell Kris, dude, I need to get a picture of you with a trophy. I don't care what trophy it is. I don't care what tournament it's at. I need a picture with you with a trophy.
Mm-hmm.
From that, from the U.S. Kids State win, I called my local newspaper. And I said, hey, This is the U.S. Kids California State. He was 8 years old. There was probably 12 participants in the tournament.
Gotcha.
In his age group.
Yeah.
But I call a newspaper and I said, my son won California State Championship. They're like, what? Like, yeah, that's big.
Right, that's big. That's huge.
They don't know.
Right.
All right. And I didn't tell no stories. That was a U.S. kid, but I just said the California State Championship.
Yeah.
From that, they did a full blowout story on my son, first page color, my local newspaper.
Wow.
From that, one of the local golf courses read the story. And in the story, I talked about how expensive golf was and how I need help and how we're in this local community and y'all got the California State champion in your local community and you guys aren't supporting them.
Wow.
From that
strategy,
I got chess. I got a phone call from one of the local golf clubs out here and the owner wants to meet us.
Wow.
So I go meet the owner. He like, at this time I said, I'm not working. He said, Kenji, how much money you got in your pocket? I said, man, I got like $20. He said, how's $20 a month? Full membership, access to everything. I said, man, that sounds great. So that's you got to get a picture with the trophy, and then you got to toot your kid's horn. But the first thing you got to do is get a picture with the trophy.
You got to win, right?
You got to win. You second place, third place, whatever they giving trophies out at. If he'd have came in third in the California State, that's still
big. Yeah, still big.
So get a picture with the trophy, and then get your local newspaper up, tell your story, and see where it go from there.
Gotcha. So Ken, let's talk about the tough times on the course. Like, you know, let's say our juniors are playing bad, you know, they're in their head. We as parents, you know, we're trying to keep them calm. We're trying to keep them cool. I can remember one time John was playing really good in a tournament and he got down to the last couple of holes and he just kind of fell apart. And he was like emotional, and that kind of made me emotional a little bit. But talk about how to handle the kids when they're having a tough day, when it's not going so well, because, you know, golf is hard, golf is mean. Walk us through that process.
Man, I'm probably not the best person to talk to about that. But what I've learned is if you need someone, if you're seeking that advice, if you need somebody to tell you what to do in those situations, the best advice is to not go out there.
Don't go. Gotcha.
Not go out there. So that's what I learned later on, is to let him handle it. And then what you'll find is when you get in the car to go home, he's had a bad day. You guys are in the car to go home and you didn't see it, none of it.
Right.
Don't say a word.
Gotcha.
Drive home. You may take him 1 or 2 days, but then he'll start telling you about the round. And in him telling you about the round, he'll realize his own mistakes faster.
Gotcha.
As opposed to you, man, you did this wrong. You did. In his head, he don't know that yet.
Right.
But if you let him come to a realization and you just sit back and don't say, no, he know you're disappointed. He's disappointed. But if you let him decompress, it may take a day or two. But he'll start, Dad, on the third hole, man, I knew I shouldn't have took this club and I hit this shot and I did this and I shouldn't have did that and I did. And you're like, yeah, that was dumb. No, that was pretty dumb. But if you don't let him decompress and learn, he never will. He always be waiting for you to teach him what he did wrong, and he just won't get it. Right. So my advice to that is to let them do it. If you're the type of parent that gets emotionally involved like I used to.
Yeah, because you know, a lot of times when they finish their round, you know, you want to get in the car, you want to ask them how, you know, why did you do this? Right. So you're saying just give them a little bit of time, and they'll start talking about it on their own.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So now, you know, Kris is in college now. Ken, how much are you involved now? Do you get a chance to go to the tournaments? You know, what's your parent role now that he's in college? He's driving. You know, what's your role?
ATM, bank. That's my role.
Right.
I'm the problem solver. Gotcha. You know, he calls me, Dad, this problem. This one, I'm like, dang, can you just call sometimes and I just want to say what's up. Dang.
Just check on me every now and then.
Yeah. So as far as the golf go, man, I have no input.
Right.
None whatsoever. And when you get to college, you quickly learn that that's how most coaches would have it.
Gotcha.
The only information you're gonna get about your kid's performance is what your kid tell you. And hopefully, you built that relationship to where he calls you, he wants to call you like before he even gets to the scorer's table. Most of the time it's to explain to me why he plays so bad.
Right.
He want to check my temperature to make sure I'm all right. So it took years for me to finally get into his head that, dude, I don't care what you shoot. I'm proud.
Right.
Like, especially reaching the goals that we reached. That was one of our goals to play D1 golf. I'm like, dude, as far as I'm concerned, you did it. Right. Whatever else you want to do after that, that's on you. And I'll help you out in that. But I'm telling you right now, I used to tell him every U.S. Kids Worlds when he was 5 years old. I said we started at 5. He was 5 years old. And he's shooting his first tournament he shot was 48. The second one he shot 47 and like 46 or something like that. We played 3 tournaments in Vegas. I drove to Vegas 3-hour trip and drove back same day just to play 9 holes of golf at 5.5 years old. I was in it.
Right.
So we get back. This was December, and I tell him next year we got to shoot even par. And he couldn't, at 5.5, 6 at this time, he couldn't fathom it. He was like, even par? I can't, what are you talking about even par? Like, I said,
36.
Look. And I told him you got to do it in practice. Right. You got to do it in practice. If you don't do it in practice, I'm not going to take you to no tournament. So he finally did it in practice. I had to convince him that he could do it. He did it in practice, and I said, you got to do it in a tournament. And then his next tournament he played, he shot 1 under, 35, 9 holes.
Wow.
But he couldn't, at that, especially at that age, they don't understand how it works. And man, he probably still don't understand how it works at 19 years old. So it's a battle the whole way through. That's good.
That's good. So Ken, before we open up the lines for some of the parents and juniors, if you had to put, a summary on developing a winning junior golfer, what would you say the overall key element is to raising that elite junior golfer?
If you're trying to get to elite status,
right?
Not just good, you talking about elite, you need consistent everyday practice at a B or above golf facility.
Gotcha.
With practice facilities.
Gotcha.
With above average range balls and a consistent game plan of measured practice, along with an equipment sponsor and a way to get fitted and your clubs change maybe every 6 months.
Okay.
If you want to get to the elite status. I was fortunate to have all that stuff.
Right.
And I got all that stuff, some luck and some just being in the right place by me going. Where I live is 90 miles or 85 miles north of Los Angeles. It's a desert community, and we don't have a lot of access to things. So I have to drive automatic. Everything is far from me. So when parents tell me they complain about something being far, then my response to them is, you're not ready for this. Go play soccer.
Right.
If you always going to practice at your local club, that's a C club because it's comfortable and the guys at the club and everybody. No, man. Sometimes you got to go to a course that may have some money in it, may have some people you can meet, and they gonna come up to you and they gonna see your kid swing. They gonna come up to you and ask you all kind of questions. You got to have a story. You got to have a story to tell. I mean, I went so far, I'll tell you a little story. I went so far as to, I would finesse a lot of these country clubs local out here, Bel Air Country Club, Riviera, Valencia, all these local expensive LA country clubs. I would say, hey man, my name is Ken Stiles and my son is Kris Stiles and he's a top junior golfer in our area. And we're moving and we want to try your club out. We're trying to pick a club for him. Is there a way you can comp us around at your club? Yes. And then you get in there at this country club and you impress the hell out of whoever it is you need to. I want to play with a few members if possible, to really get the feel of it.
Wow. You dropping nuggets now. You dropping nuggets now, bro. Man,
So I met a lot of well-to-do people at these country clubs that was impressed by my kid that's still helping out to this day.
right. That's good. That's good. Man, I know we got, some of the parents on here appreciate the nuggets you just dropped, man. And it's gonna really help us tremendously as we go through this journey that you already been through. One of the things that we talked about earlier before we got on the podcast is you said, I know what y'all going through. So, you know what we're experiencing right now. I mean,
I feel y'all pain, man. I know what it's like. Trust me.
Yeah.
I respect all of y'all that's trying this journey, man. It's not easy.
It's funny you talked about the country club, Ken, because we were at a country club 5 minutes away, but it was okay. And now we're at a country club 25 minutes away, but it's the best course in Columbia, in Columbia. So, you're dead on it. It's got as a matter of fact, the University of South Carolina used to practice there at the course we're at now before they built like a multi-million-dollar practice area on campus. So you're dead on that, man, about the facilities and the balls and, being where money is. So
now that's trying to reach elite status. Now, like one of my main things when I speak with a junior golf parent is, man, you got to define your goals in this game,
right? And
your realistic goals, right? And so if my son played, we had the chance to play with USC, then USC head golf coach, men's golf coach, his son Joey Zambri. We met him when they were 11. Kris and Joey were 11.
Same age.
And at the time when we're playing in this tournament, he's paired with us. I don't know who he is. I don't know who the USC son or who a USC coach was. So in the course of the round, Kris comes to me and tells me that that's USC head coach son, and that's his dad, the head coach of USC. Right. It's like third, fourth hole. So now I'm like, it's on. I'm about to get all in this dude here. So, right. Basically, man, what I took from that I asked him, I said, how do you find your kids? Like, so my son is 11 years old at this time. How do you find your kids? Do they reach out to you or do you look for them? Like, how does it work? And he looked at me dead in my face. He said, if they got to find us, we don't want them.
Wow.
So if you send in your resume or your bio to these, top 25 ranked D1 schools and they don't know about you, they don't want to know about you.
Right.
Trust me. They're looking at these AJGAs and this US Kids Junior AMs, and you just wasting your time thinking you're going to get a D1. If your kid was that, he'd be shooting that and he'd be on their radar.
Exactly. Yeah.